In a haunted mansion, we see our hero Seo Ju-hyun dragging himself along the floor while a deadly snake monster follows after him. Seo cannot believe that he has let such a humiliating defeat befall him and is suddenly confronted by the giant demon. He doesn't wish to die a dog's death, but eventually comes to the realization that this might be his final day. Now, Seo tells us that if he had to guess where things went wrong for him, then he'd probably have to go as far back as 15 years ago. Suddenly, we are shown a narration that tells us about the year 2025. All of a sudden, giant tombs were appearing all over the world and they started causing earthquakes everywhere. We are also told that these tombs have certain magical items known as relics that have the power to change the world. Just like how we've seen in the movies, these relics are known to grant even the most basic of humans the most extraordinary of abilities. Of course, this caught everyone's attention, so people started exploring the world in search of these relics, hoping to attain the powers they grant. Now, Seo reveals that he had actually started his own conquest in search of a relic, but he was a little slower than most others. However, after tons of effort, he finally comes across an overpowered relic known as the Archaist's Relic. It basically blesses Seo with the knowledge of tombs and relics all over the world. Seo is thrilled that he doesn't have to go back to the boring life he was living earlier, and this is a chance to become a king among slaves. However, it turns out that he is a little late to the party. Because of the increasing popularity of these relics, some money-hungry businessmen decided to create laws that would limit the usage of relics unless people would work for them. Luckily for Seo, he has great skills when it comes to excavation, and this catches the eyes of a giant company named TKMB. The CEO of this company, Kwon, hires our hero even though they warn Seo that this will not be a piece of cake. Because of his new routine, Seo gets his hands dirty and even calls himself a smuggler, thief, and spy. However, the most important aspect of his job is that he is a tomb raider. Essentially, Seo uses his powers to find relics discovered by other people. As expected, Seo steals these relics even though he targets the most restricted area. Seo quickly becomes a legend in his company and spearheads his own tomb raiding team. Thanks to their efforts, CEO Kwon quickly becomes the most powerful relic user in the world, and that brings in a lot of moolah. Unfortunately for Seo, he is considered to be like a dog following the orders of his master Kwon. But our hero simply ignores this trash talk because honestly speaking he has nowhere else to go. Unfortunately, this mentality doesn't work out for Seo or his team because their powers and progress end up threatening CEO Kwon. Sensing an opportunity to disarm the threat, Kwon sends Seo and his team on a deadly mission, knowing fully well that they're not going to make it out alive. Seo insults the shameless CEO for betraying him, and now we're back to the present where the snake demon is attacking our hero. Seo angrily picks up a rock and throws it at the snake, which is also revealed to have eaten up his entire team. With no sense of hope or optimism, Seo resigns to his fate and dares the snake demon to eat him up because he will tear his insides out. He hopes to come back to this world as a ghost and haunt Kwon for the rest of his life. All of Seo's shouting finally gets to the snake demon and he laments that Seo is a noisy bugger. Our hero is shocked to learn that the snake demon can talk, and even the monster is shocked that Seo can hear him. However, Seo tries to act cool and tells the snake that this isn't his first time facing off against a relic monster. Seo also states that he should be left alone, but the snake demon taunts him for being weak. It also says that Seo is a talented man, but it's of no use as he has lost his legs and is about to be killed. The demon taunts Seo some more before getting into a position of attack. Seo doesn't like all this trash talk, so he counters by saying the demon doesn't know who he is or what he wants. Now, Seo gets really angry thinking about how his life turned out by working under CEO Kwon. He shouts once again in frustration, declaring that he'll do whatever he can to kill the old geyser. The snake demon finds all of this very entertaining and says that it would be a shame to let such a talent go to waste. Seo is confused by what he's hearing, so the demon clears it up by saying that he will give him a second chance. Suddenly, the snake demon transforms into a bird and says that Seo will get one more shot at taking the throne of the king. Seo has no idea what any of this means, but then he is suddenly transported to a police station where his legs are shown to be completely fine. Seo is shocked by this change of scene and he looks around to find people staring weirdly at him. The cop at the reception tells Seo to cut the act and give his ID because he doesn't have time to listen to his blabbering. This annoys the cop, who berates Seo for not even being able to give his name. That's when the cop's partner mentions that it's 2025, and it catches Seo's attention. Seo spots one of the people staring at him and identifies the person to be a random drunkard he got into a fight with on this very night. Now, it finally hits him that he's gone 15 years back in time. Seo remembers what the relic demon told him about taking the king's throne and realizes that the god-level relics still haven't shown up at this point in time. This gives him motivation because he will be able to collect all the relics of the world before anyone else because he's already got a head start. What's even better is that all his memories and skills are still with him, so collecting the relics should be as easy as pie. This is pretty exciting stuff for our hero. He comments that he's already seen everything there is to see in this world. However, Seo is still amazed that he has experienced such an eventful day. He takes us through the 3 major incidents that have happened to him today. Number 1. He finally came across a tomb that birthed a demon strong enough to make him piss his pants. Number 2. He realized that his boss Kwon is nothing more than a scoundrel who had sent him to die on this mission. Number 3. He has just accepted that he has been taken back 15 years into his past mere moments before he was killed. Seo's mind goes wild with all kinds of possible situations, but he is snapped out of his dreams when the drunk boy's mom interrupts him. She reveals that her son is still in high school, and it wasn't cool of Seo to slap him despite knowing this. The mom insists that Seo should pay his settlement fees, and our hero realizes that he needs to get out of this situation first. He takes us to a flashback to the very same date, but during his previous life. The high school boy had gotten drunk and wanted to fight Seo. However, this simply turns out to be a plan to extort money from him because the boy falls to the ground after Seo barely even touches him. This resulted in Seo having to pay some very high settlement fees. Back to the present, Seo realizes that he doesn't have any money on him now. On top of that, he doesn't even have his Arceus relic or any of his power tools. This is going to make finding the other relics a really difficult task, and it worries Seo as he doesn't have a plan for this. However, his silence upsets the mom because she thinks Seo is ignoring her. She angrily raises her hand and is about to smack Seo to teach him a lesson. Her son isn't too thrilled by this behavior, and neither is Seo, so he calmly blocks her attack by holding her hand. Seo is amazed that his skills and instincts are still top-notch, and then he tells the auntie to calm down. He even goes as far as to ridicule the mom by saying she's being silly, and this angers her son. He rushes at Seo to attack him, but our hero easily dodges his attack. Seo laments that this was supposed to be an easy settlement, but that isn't the case now, so he smacks the boy's face to the floor with minimum effort. Seo assesses the state of his current body, and realizes that it's a lot lighter than what it was before he died. However, the cops get pissed off and scold him for creating a scene at the police station. Our hero doesn't care about the rules anymore, and he gives it straight to the cops. He doesn't have any money, so he'd much rather be locked up inside jail. This amazes the mother, who goes on to say that Seo is a loser for offering such an option. He doesn't even bother looking at the angry auntie because he knows very well what's going to happen when the relics show up. Seo gets locked up inside a cell and starts thinking about his next plan of action. He has the strength and the power, but he doesn't have any money to fund his excavations now. As Seo thinks about what he should do to earn some moolah, he is suddenly shocked to see some text appearing in front of his eyes. He smacks his head because he thinks he's seeing things, but then the text changes to a sentence that actually insults him quite brutally. Now, Seo finally clears his head and figures that this is the work of a relic. He suspects the relic demon to be the culprit behind this whole mess, so he shouts out to it hoping to get an answer. Suddenly, some purple lights form around him and then he gets a power boost. Unfortunately, it's just a basic spy skill that allows Seo to spot things from within a meter of his body. Seo finds this insulting because he thinks that the relic demon has turned his life into a living game. Seo needs to awaken the 4 hidden skills inside him to awaken the Tomb Raider resting within his body. Quickly realizing that he's the only one who can read these skill windows and quest windows, Seo figures that he won't need his Arceus relic if he can just build up skills using these quests. Our hero is obviously delighted that he's got all these bonus points, but he is still suspicious of what the relic demon is up to. Now, we meet Detective Jin Woo-hyun, who gets Seo out of jail and promises to handle the high school kid because he is a habitual offender. We learn that Jin took Seo in as his own brother when he found him as an orphan, so they have a very healthy relationship. Our hero figures that he should make use of Jin's connections as a detective, so he asks him if he's heard any reports about supernatural activity. Jin says no and even mocks Seo by calling him drunk. He makes a joke about his wife being able to find his secret stash, so Seo comes to the conclusion that there aren't any relic reports so far. Jin says goodbye and Seo comments that tombs have started appearing all over the world. However, there are no relic users as of now, so our hero must make the most out of his skills and knowledge to become the ultimate relic king. He thinks back to when the most important relics started showing up in Europe and North America, but he doesn't have any money to go to these places. As Seo wonders how he's going to find a way to pay for these flights, he hears someone calling out to him. It turns out to be a bunch of goons who question him for just walking around and not working. Seo doesn't really recognize these people, but he realizes that this could be his best chance at making some much-needed income. The leader of this group, Park Kyung-tae is shown to have been Seo's past employer, and we learn that he used to be a street thug, but has now become an art broker who works with his sister and runs an art gallery. Seo doesn't seem to like either of them because he was forced to work for Park and his goons for an extended period of time even though he didn't want to. We see a flashback to when Seo was mistreated by Park and his men despite being a youngster who worked really hard to get the job done without getting any respect. Back to the present, one of the goons named Nim threatens to attack Seo for not responding to him, but our hero simply ignores his words and smacks him down with a simple punch. The goons are shocked and amazed to see how strong Seo has become, and then he tells them that he doesn't work for Park anymore. The goons refuse to consider his statement, but Seo tells them that he also wants his outstanding wages and severance pay right here, right now. And that's the end of part 1. Like, share, and subscribe if you want me to continue with this story. Hit the bell icons for regular notifications as well. I'll see you soon.